Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one that I've been wanting to film for the longest time, and I am finally getting around to filming it, which I'm so excited about. And it is just in time because today that this video is being uploaded on is a very special day, which I'm sure future me has already posted about it. You will understand what I'm referring to soon. So without any further ado, this is the story of how I became a swiftie. So most people, when they meet me, they assume that I've been a swiftie for forever, which surprisingly, fun fact, is not true. I never disliked Taylor in any way. I never had anything against her, but I did not become a full active swiftie until I guess 4 years ago, which is crazy that it's been that long, but also it's flown by so fast. So the first memory I have of hearing Taylor Swift songs is probably when I was little. I can remember hearing like Love Story and You Belong With Me on the radio, and they'd kind of play in the speakers while you were like walking through stores, you know? And so I can remember hearing those. And then when I was in second grade, my best friend at the time, her and I auditioned for our school talent show. Spoiler alert, we did not get in because we sucked, but we made up a dance to Shake It Off. It was really fun and I enjoyed it a lot, and the song kind of grew on me from that, even though now I don't really love it. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it just because it's played so much. Anyway, my younger brother, he's 7 now, but when he was a baby, he used to have a really hard time falling asleep, and my dad would have to drive him around in the car to get him to fall asleep. And so at the time, we were also in our Kids Bop era as a family, because obviously as you parent, you learn and you grow and you learn how to be a better parent. And so when I was younger, my parents were very conscious of making sure that we didn't hear bad words, we didn't hear music with bad words. But then now my siblings, my parents don't care what music they listen to, because they've learned that there are worse things in the world than your child repeating a bad word a couple times. But anyway, so when I was little, we used to listen pretty much solely to Kids Bop. And so we had the Kids Bop 30 CD, and it was in the CD player of our minivan. And my dad would play that album for my brother while he was driving him around the neighborhood to get him to fall asleep. One of the songs on there was Bad Blood, and Bad Blood became my brother's favorite song. And so it kind of just grew on our family as a whole just because it was played so often. It's still the Kids Bop version, not the actual Taylor Swift version, but it was still Bad Blood, so it still counts because it's like the same song. And then I think my next memory of Taylor is when I was in 6th grade. This was kind of the age where half the kids had phones, half the kids didn't. And so we used to have to sit in this multi-purpose room before school because they wouldn't let us roam the hallways. And so I didn't have a phone at the time, but a couple of my friends did. This was right after the music video for Look What You Made Me Do came out. I can remember sitting in the multi-purpose room and watching it on this girl's phone. I still know exactly what girl it was. We sat there and we watched it, and we were all kind of like, wow, like this is weird. Like I don't know how I feel about this. Obviously because this was coming after 1989, which was a completely different era. I can remember liking it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I'm a fan now, but I was like, you know, like this is pretty cool. That following spring, I got a phone for the first time, and so now I actually had my own electronic that I could go and listen to my own music, be on the internet by myself. That was really the first time that I had like freedom on the internet, I guess. I started listening to a lot of my own music. I had this little playlist that I used to listen to when I was doing my homework, and there were some songs on there from Reputation. I had never really listened to the album as a whole, but there were just some songs that stuck out to me that I had heard on the radio and whatnot. I remember specifically Ready For It, Delicate, and Look What You Made Me Do. Those 3 for sure were on there, and there might have been one more, but I can remember those 3 being on there. So I love those songs. They were like really good. I don't know why I never listened to the rest of the album. She went on her Reputation Stadium tour, which one of my biggest regrets in life is that I did not get to see her on tour, because she literally came to the city by where I lived at the time. I didn't even make an attempt to get tickets. But then when the Reputation Stadium tour came out on Netflix, I can also remember my dad being like, oh, hey, like there's this Taylor Swift thing on Netflix, you should watch it. I was like, no, like I don't really like Taylor Swift. Maybe I'll watch it eventually, but I'm not really that big of a fan. And so I didn't watch it. That was basically it. Fast forward to April of 2019, I was scrolling through YouTube one day, as you do, and I came across this post. So for those of you that don't know, Taylor started off the Lover era by posting these cryptic messages to her Instagram and basically just all her social medias. It was what was later revealed to be a zoomed in shot of some sort of prop or outfit or something from the Me music video, but we didn't know what they were at the time. They were just pictures without context. So every single one of these pictures had the caption 426, which is today, the day that I'm uploading this. So I saw this and I was like, hey, like, what's going on here? So every day I checked back and there would be another post and I was like, you know, like this is interesting. I don't really know what's going on here. I don't know what the purpose of this is, but I'm intrigued. And so at the same time, I started getting suggested her old music videos because I was visiting her channel every day. And so I started watching them and I basically fell down a rabbit hole of old Taylor Swift music. I was like, you know, like this is really good. I never really appreciated this before, but this is really good. Like, I love this. And so I don't remember how long this lasted for, probably like a week. But then 426 came and it was revealed that this was the day of her new lead single. I stayed up late and I watched the premiere on my iPad. And this was the first music video that I had ever watched the premiere for, the first music release that I had ever stayed up for, ever in my entire life. And so I watched it and I was like, oh my God, like I am a very happy and bright and bubbly, like pastel, like themed person. Like if I was an album, my personality would be Lover. Well, it depends. It's like an ever more tinted Lover. But anyway, so my personality is very Lover-ish. Watching that music video, first of all, I was mind blown because I was like, this is not like Reputation at all. This is a completely like full 180, like completely different. I was like, I actually really like this. I didn't really admit to myself then that I was a Swiftie. I was like, you know, like this is cool, she's talented, I like her music. And so all throughout that next day at school, whenever I had a free moment, I kept going on my phone to YouTube and checking the view count of the Me music video. And I kept telling myself, you know, like I'm not obsessed with Taylor Swift. This is just, I just want to see how many views it has. I watched it a lot and listened to it a lot. I can remember around that time, we got our Google Home speaker, and so it would sit, basically, if you don't know what it is, it's like an Amazon Echo, but it's like Google's version or whatever. And so we got one of those and it would sit in the kitchen. And so I can remember doing chores or like cleaning the table, loading the dishwasher, whatever, and being like, hey Google, play Me by Taylor Swift. And she would play the song and I would just listen to it, and I like obsessed over that song. Then I started going down an even bigger rabbit hole of all her old music, all her interviews, everything, and watching it. So eventually Lover was announced. There wasn't any super big moments until the album release really, but then on August 23rd, 2019, I stayed up late and I told myself that I was not excited for this album. I was like, you know what, like I've just been listening to Taylor Swift lately. I'm not like a fan or anything. I just listen to her music. And so that night I was laying in my bed and I couldn't sleep. And so I was like, you know, I am just going to go ahead and see if the album's out yet, like I wonder. And so I went and I checked the time. The album was about to be released in like 10 minutes. So I was like, okay, well, 10 minutes, I might as well just stay up and listen to it. And so I stayed up late and I listened to the whole album and I was like, wow, like this is a masterpiece. This is a full-on masterpiece. And so I listened to the whole album and then I went to bed and I woke up the next morning for school. And I don't know why I remember this, but I remember specifically straightening my hair that day because I guess I wanted to be fancy because of Taylor Swift's album. Like, I don't really know where the logic was there, but I can specifically remember that I straightened my hair that day. I listened to the album while I was getting ready for school and like on the way to school too. I just remember being blown away, like, wow, like this is a really, really good album. yeah, that basically kickstarted my obsession. The release of Lover was really the moment where I was like, you know what? Like, I am an unapologetic swiftie. Like, this is me. This is my thing. I watched a ton of her interviews and all her old music videos. I listened to Lover on repeat for a good couple of weeks before I got bored of it. And even then I didn't get bored of it. I just started listening to her other music and like mixing that in and whatever. Fast forward to January 2020, Miss Americana dropped. And that is the thing that solidified my opinion of her as a person. Before I was like, you know, like I really like her music, but when Miss Americana came out and I watched it, I was just left blown away. Little 13-year-old me was like, wow, like this girl is amazing. A lot of the things that she talked about in there really resonated with me at the time. And I was just like, wow, like it's like she was there for me. And so that basically solidified my liking her as a person, whereas Lover solidified my liking her music. And so flash forward a little bit to March 2020 when quarantine happened. I was at home and I didn't really have anything else to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a Taylor Swift YouTube channel because I had done YouTube in the past, but nothing Taylor Swift related, obviously. And I was like, you know what? Like, let's see how it goes. Let's just give it a shot. This channel that I used to post stop motion videos on, and I deleted all my videos and I decided to change it. And I named it All Too Swift because I was like, you know, like that's cute, like a little wordplay because like all too well, but also because like there's too much Taylor Swift, so it's like All Too Swift. Yeah, and so here we are now, and 3 years from then, I have almost 7,000 of you guys, which is insane. Thank you guys so much, like, for being here, for letting me do this. The fact that I get to do this and have people who actually care is just so cool. But yeah, so that is basically the story of how I became a Swiftie. Ever since basically Miss Americana, I have been a diehard Swiftie, and I don't think anything will ever change that, to be perfectly honest. I get to see Taylor in literally like a couple days, and it is going to be absolutely surreal, and I'm so excited. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and comment down below. Just, I don't even know if you liked it, what you liked, fun facts about your Swiftie journey. I don't really know, but comment because I like talking to you guys, and subscribe if you aren't already if this seems like the kind of content that you like, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!